Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you for tuning into Zwift Games Stage 3. This is also known as the Cobbled Crown in the Richmond world. This is a twist on the 2015 World Course, and just going into this course alone, starting out pretty strong. My heart rate monitor is not functioning properly, so we're not going to get accurate numbers until maybe 3 miles in, which is a little bit of a annoyance there, but I'm sure everyone's had issues with heart rate monitors here and there. So starting off, as usual, everyone guns for it. Get your feather power up at the pen, and that is your only power up throughout the race. As a reminder for every Zwift Games race, I'm going to mention it for this one and all the upcoming ones, just as a reminder for those that may have or may not have started. So we're going to start the first climb, which is 23rd Street, average of 3.5% at 0.7 miles. And I am taking everyone's advice, tips, and tricks from the comments you provided. I'm already standing up on this climb. It is pretty steep, but the thing is, once I get over the hump of each climb, my goal is to continue putting out a little bit of power, even if it's going downhill. So averaging 400 something watts here. But once we get to the top, I don't let out to 100, 150 where I'm trying to rest and gather my breath. I am just trying to stay on the front group as long as possible. So yes, it does go a little bit lower here, but I don't drop into the 1 watt kilo category for long. Put in a little bit of effort to try to bridge the gap. We are on the second one, which is the KOM climb at 3.4%, 0.43 miles long. This overall course is about 14.9 miles in length with 920 feet of elevation, if I remember correctly. Let me double check, 945 feet to be exact. So in the very, very beginning, you are just going to go downhill, hit 2 big climbs, and your best effort is to try to maintain with the group as best as possible. Once we get over that KOM climb, you start going downhill, and there's going to be some small punchy sections. By punchy, I mean it does get a little bit of elevation here and there, so just be careful if you are getting water, wiping the sweat off of you, whatever it may be, or if you're trying to change your music, just pay attention because there are certain sections of that throughout the race. But luckily, this group was pretty good, and there were a few people in this group that were holding the front, like as in they were pretty much pulling everyone. And I was glad that even though I kind of moved up and down in position, my goal was just to maintain mid-packed in this front group, just so I can stay with them and try to rest as much as possible. My current heart rate here is 184 beats per minute, and it does average around 180. I am trying my best to lower it before we hit this next climb. Now, it's not an actual segmented or time climb, but throughout the whole race, yes, there are 4 sections where you do have time climbs or areas where people, can try for them. But this third climb of the race is mainly just to get up the hill, and it is a lot longer length than the other one, so just be careful. Now, I am putting all my effort into this climb here. My heart rate is pretty high, but again, following tips and tricks, if you want to stay with the front group, you have to climb, and once you get over the climb, you just have to maintain as best as possible, and this was my goal throughout this entire race, which is a little bit different because the first 2 races were sprint-like ones, and whenever those climbs happened in the first 2 races, I did not continue pushing after, so I learned my lesson there. Found out that in this race, I'm going to try the best as I can to continue on. So we're maintaining with the front group here. Luckily, this is a much smaller field. As you can see, there's 49 people in this race, and in the first 2, there were over 150 in each of them. So this may be because the weather is getting warmer. We're getting spring here, Northern Hemisphere. So I'm sure people are starting to ride outside. So Zwift Games may or may not have even less and less people going on, or it just might be the time of day and people have work. So we get over this climb, and once you get over that third climb, I just try to maintain with the group as possible. Still have not used my power up, and I am saving it towards the end. Now we're gonna fast forward through this entire middle section, and this is the area that I just try to recoup my breath, try to wipe off any sweat, get some water in me, and that's what I do. So throughout this entire middle section, it's pretty pancake flat. So all you have to really do is, as someone even commented, flat and steady. You just want to maintain in the group as best as possible, and just try to recover as much as you can. This is exactly what I'm doing. There were certain parts where people would put in a little bit more effort, just to try to kind of drop people. So you'll see some flyers here and there, but the group itself was pretty good at maintaining pace. And right behind us, we have about 18 seconds of a difference. And throughout the race, it was like 5 or 6 people, I'd say, in the second group, and they were pretty strong, maintaining themselves, keeping position. Because usually once you're getting in a big group and they take off, it's pretty much over. So that group did a really, really good job maintaining that pace, continuing on and holding. But obviously not anything to worry about right now. There is about 15 to 20 people in our group here, so I'm happy that I did not do so well on Zwift Games 1 and 2, if I recall. I know for 2, I got dropped pretty early, and 1 dropped mainly towards the middle end section. So I am holding on pretty strong. We're at 10 miles right now, 5 miles left in the race. Still maintaining with the group as best as possible. And this third one is more of a punchier type of route. A lot of the roads are very similar. I would say like the first half section is a little unfamiliar or new for the Richmond course. But for the rest of the race, if you've done any Richmond ride or done any of the races before, it's pretty much the exact same route. So nothing unfamiliar here, at least for me. We are leaning towards the last 3 climbs. So I am working my best, and you can see on the screen right now, a lot of red, a lot of yellow. I am familiar with this KOM climb. It's 6.4% at 0.4 mile length. This is where I am also standing up to kind of leverage any power that I can, see how far I can make it. And as you see, it's a little bit windy towards the end, but this is the section that I actually do end up using my power up. I am not sure if this was the best move in my opinion, but I think just to maintain with the front group, because you can at least see people are starting to split off, and I hit the button to check the people behind me. So there is a gap forming. So we get over the first climb. Again, 2 people start taking off. Try to catch up to them, because once it's gone, it's gone. So luckily, either they slow down, or we speed up. We're able to bridge that gap and get the group back. So the field actually gets much smaller here. We get about 10 people or so, and then we hit the second climb. Very, very steep. Push as much effort as I can. 23rd Street again, 10%, 0.17 distance. Just need to get over the hump. And in my head here, the issue was, I was like, oh, there's no more climbs left. But in actuality, I looked at the map, and I could see that the finish is also going to be a climb. So my mistake here was burning a lot. You can see my heart rate gets up to 197. Again, my max currently is 198 beats per minute. Very, very, very close to the max. And right now I am out of energy, burnt all my matches so far just to keep up with this group. And then we approached this final climb. So I knew I had to just go all out as best as I can, whatever energy I had left, empty the tank. So unfortunately, we get up to this point. My body's like, I can't push anymore. My legs are burning. And this is exactly the point where I get dropped. Start losing, try to push as much power as I can, so averaging 4 watts per kilo, but still not enough to maintain with the front group. You can see they're averaging 4.5 up to 5. And my body says, nope, can't go anymore. This is it for me. So my next best effort was to try to finish out the race as best as I can. So I'm still 10th place, but as you can see, there are 2 people behind me. One is 7 seconds behind, now 6, down to 5. and they're catching up pretty quickly. This guy, Santa Maria, averaging 4.5 watts per kilo, ends up catching up to me because I am going at lower 2 watts per kilo. I see him coming. I try to push as much as I can, but in the end, I still can't do it. He starts sprinting. And then I'm like, all right, let me just try to do a last bit of sprint. Still couldn't do it. He ends up passing me. We finished the race. Ended up at 11th place. So overall, I'm only 46 seconds behind the front of the group. So yes, I am happy that I was able to do well in this race because I could keep up with the front group, but sadly fell short the last 0.5 miles. Not too shabby overall, 46 seconds. It doesn't say, it says behind me, but it's 3.3 watts per kilo over 20 minutes, which is pretty normal for what I've seen so far. That is pretty much my race for this stage. I appreciate you guys taking a look at this, and I will catch you guys on the next Zwift Games.